High school doesn't prepare you for real pain. It teaches you how to fake smiles, how to chase popularity, how to drown awkward silences in gossip, but it doesn't tell you what to do when someone you love starts disappearing in front of your eyes. Ava was the loudest girl in our group. Bright, funny, always late, always chaotic, but always real. So when she showed up one Monday morning in a sleek leather jacket and brand name shoes none of us could afford, we were floored. "Damn, Ava," someone said. "You win the lottery?" She just smiled and said, "My mom's new boyfriend is trying to buy me off." We all laughed. I remember thinking, must be nice. My parents could barely pay bills, and here she was with a Gucci bag. Then more things changed. A week later, she walked into school glowing, like radiating. I thought maybe she'd gotten a boyfriend. I asked, and she shut down, cold. Her tone snapped like a rubber band. Then came the jewelry, the nails, the AirPods. She looked rich, but she stopped laughing. I made a joke, something stupid about her shoplifting game leveling up. She blocked me that night. That's when I knew something was really, really wrong. So I went to her house the next day, pretending I'd baked cookies. A strange older guy answered the door. "Just boxers." Gross smirk. Ava stood behind him in a silk robe, makeup smeared like she'd been crying, or worse. She saw me and ran. I stood on Ava's porch, frozen. The door slammed shut before I could even move. The heat of the moment, the image of her in that robe, mascara smudged, lip trembling, it sank into me like ice. Something inside me shattered. This wasn't a glow-up. It was a silent scream. I walked away, cookies still in hand, hands shaking so hard I nearly dropped the tray. I didn't go home. I went to Zoe's. If there was one person in our group who could think straight in a crisis, it was her. Smart, focused. The kind of girl who always knew what to say when the rest of us just froze. She opened the door, took one look at my face, and didn't even ask, just said, "What happened?" I told her everything. Ava's weird behavior, the man at the door, her snapping at me, the way she ran. When I said the word grooming, Zoe's face went still. "Okay," she said, "we need to be smart, and we need to be fast." We knew going to Ava directly wouldn't work. She'd already blocked me, and Zoe said she hadn't answered any messages from her in over a week. So we did something else. At school, Zoe volunteered to give a class presentation, one of those awareness projects we were allowed to do in health class. She chose a topic that made our teacher blink in surprise: online predators and manipulation tactics. Zoe didn't sugarcoat a thing. She talked about older men who target girls who are vulnerable, how they groom them with money, gifts, compliments. She explained how it starts with attention, then control. How they isolate you from friends, make you feel special, until you're trapped. And she said this, looking directly across the room. "It never feels like abuse when it starts. That's the trick." Ava was sitting 3 seats from the back. She didn't blink once during the whole talk. Her hands were clenched. Her face turned pale. I watched her crumble silently. After class, she didn't say a word. But that night, I got a text. From a new number. It was Ava. "I'm sorry I blocked you. Can you come find me? I don't feel safe." I found her in the girls' bathroom on the 3rd floor. The one nobody uses because the light flickers like a horror movie. She was curled up in the corner, hugging her knees, shaking so badly I thought she was having a seizure. She looked up at me like a child. "I'm pregnant," she whispered. I didn't cry. I didn't panic. I just wrapped my arms around her and said, "We're gonna figure this out." She told me everything that night. His name was Greg, her mom's new boyfriend. It started with compliments, then cash, then little gifts, then kisses when her mom wasn't looking, then threats. He said I looked more like a woman than my mom ever did, she whispered. And when I said no, he said he'd tell everyone I was a liar, that no one would believe me. She wasn't lying. Ava had tried once, told her mom Greg made her uncomfortable. Her mom screamed at her, accused her of trying to ruin another relationship, said she was jealous. So Ava stopped talking and started surviving till it was too late. Zoe and I didn't waste time. We didn't call the cops. We knew what usually happened: interviews, red tape, disbelief. We needed something solid first, something they couldn't ignore. So we made a plan. Ava still had access to Greg's phone sometimes. When he passed out drunk, she knew his passcode. Zoe gave her a list of screenshots to take. Messages, photos, anything that showed what he'd done. It took her 2 days. When she sent them to us, my hands went numb. He'd been messaging her since she was 15, talking about her body, what she wore, how loyal she was. And then, the worst. Photos. Her face, her body, too much. Taken without her knowing. We compiled it all. Zoe handed it off to her cousin, who volunteered at a local women's shelter and knew someone in child services. That got us in. Within 3 days, Ava was taken into protective custody. Greg was arrested 2 days after that. They found more evidence on his laptop. He pled guilty. He's serving 15 years. Ava stayed with Zoe for a while after that. Her mom never visited, never called. We picked out baby names together during study hall. She cried the first time she felt the baby kick. I sat with her during the scan. And when she finally smiled again, really smiled, I knew she was still in there. Not glowing, but surviving. Alive. Ava gave birth to a baby girl in early spring. She named her Lila, said it meant night beauty, because so much of her strength had grown in the dark. We graduated a few months later. Ava didn't walk the stage. She was still healing. But Zoe and I brought our caps to her house and threw them in her front yard, laughing until we cried. Ava still has hard days. But she's not alone anymore. Not ever again. She told me once that the scariest part wasn't what Greg did. It was thinking no one would believe her. That maybe, deep down, she deserved it. She doesn't think that anymore. Because we showed her the truth. That she is seen, heard, loved. And that no matter how dark it gets, there will always be people who run toward you when you're breaking, not away. I'll be one of them. Always.